do you get your guitar tones? What do you use?
Well, basically for getting my guitar tone, it's pretty simple. Like, I don't really have a crazy setup. I just need the amp to be, it just needs to be a great, pure tone that can feed back at will.
Can't say I saw it on TV.
The focus knob on the amp allows you to also sort of control, you actually can control the volume a little bit and still have that feedback. You know what I'm saying? Because you could still get the size you want, but also sort of dial it back a little bit. At least that's what I found it does for me. Maybe it does something different for other people, or it's intended to be something different, but for me, I found that can sort of like, if that house guy is like, oh, you gotta pull it back a little bit, I can pull it back a little bit, but still get like, you know what I mean, that vibe I still need to get out of it. And
the bigness?
The bigness of it and the feeding backness of it, you know what
Sure.
I'm saying? Like, just the right amount of like singing out of the guitar. I've come from, a Marshall background mostly. I was using stuff that, some of their more modern stuff, and it was cool, but I had to really tweak it drastically to get it to do the combination of like old school sound, more of a mid-range, really sort of like beautiful mid-range singing, but like with enough gain that I want. You know what I mean? Like basically a mix between like modern and old, for that sort of like, cool punk rock voicing, but that it's got a little bit more than the Sex Pistols and like, and Joe Strummer. It's got to have a little bit more gain and feedback for me. And for me, that's what those amps have. Those Rivera amps got the fucking, they got that 11. Joey compliments me and I compliment him by having more of, I guess I would be more the high gain guy and he would be the more sort of like slightly low gain guy. But just for me, live, I just use the Fandango and he uses the Kiena, and that to me is exactly the right combination of tone, because playing it together, we play the same chords. He's kind of peaking out in certain frequencies and I'm peaking out in certain frequencies. You get this like beautiful full spectrum. To me, it's the dream tone, and it's what I used on the record too. You know what I mean? Usually I'll have my, in the past I've had my sound that I used live to get it to do what I need to live, and then in the studio we'd be searching for days on what the sound is to make the perfect record. And this, time around, we had our stage rack rolled into the studio, plugged it into cabs, mic'd it up, and used it, and that was our tone for the album. You know what I mean? It wasn't even any different.